Meet Sep Kwakwilam. Welcome everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Merci d'être ici avec nous aujourd'hui. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is Alana Lawrence. I am the Vice President of Communications, Indigenous Relations, and Environment here at YVR, and I will be your MC for today's annual public meeting. Joining us, we have Lily and Alexandra, who will be providing American Sign Language interpretation. You can also listen to this presentation in French. La traduction française sera assurée par Florence et Marcello, qui sont assis à l'arrière, au fond de la salle. For those joining us online, please make sure you have selected the correct link for the language you would like to listen in. We are gathered here today on the traditional and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. And as a member of our YVR Musqueam Relationship Committee, it has given me great privilege to work alongside our partners at Musqueam to deliver mutually beneficial outcomes for both communities over almost 9 years. And it is with my great pleasure that I invite Mary Point from Musqueam to the podium to get us started in a good way.
Haichka Siem, Haichka Kathanaskak, my younger sister. Each while, hello, bonjour. Asiem Nasiea. Asiem Nasiea, Antha Mary Point, Tanitsanach Matquim. E Tanitsanach YVR. E Ktsamaltsum. Amid Sep Quatquilim. In the language of my ancestors, I said, good day. My name is Mary Point. I'm from Musqueam. I'm also from YVR. And today we are gathered in a place once known as the Blueberry Forest, a place of abundance. So I'm mindful every day when I come to work that I'm walking and working where my ancestors once walked and worked and lived and thrived until they were rudely asked to leave, I'll politely say, but where many still rest beneath my feet. And so we try to honor their time on this island in everything that we do. And today it's a very different relationship than it was way back in the 1930s when the airport came into this part of the world. Today we have a wonderful friendship. The Musqueam Indian Band YVR Airport Sustainability and Friendship Agreement, it's called, but we call it the Friendship Agreement for short. And so much has happened. I actually did the welcome at our first year after we signed the agreement, and it was very overwhelming to think of all the work that it was to come. But since then, since 2017, we've given over 102 scholarships. We've had more than 190 Musqueam people working in various roles across the airport. That number has gone up and down because of the pandemic, currently 64. We had 4 new business startups, 3 who are actively working and out of the airport here at full time. So it's really been an exciting journey for us. And at the same time, together, Musqueam has worked with virtually every department here at YVR to protect the ancestors resting here, to protect the land and waters together, to work on emergency management, and to really just get to know one another. It's really been an amazing journey that we've been on. It's a 30-year agreement, but we expect that friendship to last forever. So with that being said, I'm going to stop talking here. I'm a last-minute fill-in for our chief, Wayne Sparrow, Yahya Kolak. He wasn't able to make it due to a meeting that was going overtime back home, but he sends warm greetings to Tamara and Annalisa especially, and because he also always mentions this good friendship, the best practices that have arisen out of the work that we've done together, and the long-lasting relationships we've managed to forge. So with that being said, I don't have my drum, but I am going to sing the paddle song, just one round of it. Our old people say when they're on the water, they'll sing it over and over and over again until the ancestors come and sit with us. But we have a full agenda ahead. But for those online, everyone sing loud, right, Andy? Andy's our best singer. No judgment on anyone else. Yo ho, yo hey, yo ho, yo hey, yo ho, hey, yo hey, yo hey, yo hey. Yo hey, yo ho, yo hey, yo ho, yo hey, yo ho, hey, yo hey, yo hey. Yo hey, yo hey. I Tanishqualo Quincy Quetznala. My heart is full when I hear you singing this song of the land, and I raise my hands high for each and every one of you. Hi, Tseepka.
Thank you, Mary. And that voice, it's a wonderful singing voice. Okay, so I have a few housekeeping items just to run us through before we get started. So we ask that if you haven't, please register your attendance by scanning the QR code on the screen. If not, it's also available on some of the signage around the room here today. As a thank you, all registered attendees will be entered into a prize draw to win 25 YVR dollars, and we will contact the winner. Nope, just 25. We will contact the winner after the event. At the entrance today, you will have seen we have some copies of Evelyn Sue Wong's book titled Reach for the Sky, How Two Brothers Built an Airplane in Chinatown. This is a fantastic new book. I highly recommend that you get out there and read it. We also have it for sale at the Virgin Bookstore located pre-security in our domestic terminal, and it is under $25 if you wish to purchase it. We have refreshments at the front, just a few of them left actually, but please make sure to grab them. They are provided by Paper Planes Cafe, which is also located in our domestic terminal on level 2. If you are not familiar with the Paper Planes Cafe, it provides neurodivergent individuals with training and paid work experience to support their long-term employment opportunities, and it has become a critical part of our food and beverage offering here at the airport. Washrooms are located behind you, as identified by the signage, and should you need to leave at any point, it is also behind you to the left. Today, we are joined by members of our board of directors and our executive team at the Airport Authority, all seated in the front 2 rows here. Our annual public meeting will kick off with remarks from our board chair, Annalisa King, highlighting the year that was 2025. We will then hear from our president and CEO, Tamara Vrooman, who will provide an overview of our business, our operations, our financial performance, as outlined in our 2025 Annual and Sustainability Report, which is available online at yvr.ca. The presentation will be followed by a question and answer session with Tamara, who will take questions from those in the room, those of you who are joining us online, as well as individuals who were able to email some questions in advance of today's meeting. I would like to note that this year's annual public meeting is especially significant, as it will be our final one with Annalisa King as our chair, as her term comes to a close. Tamara will speak to Annalisa's many contributions in her remarks, so I will simply add my sincere gratitude for your leadership, your insight, and your dedication as you have brought to the board and to YVR throughout your time with us. And with that, it is now my pleasure to invite Annalisa to give a few remarks, and as she comes to the podium, I invite you to turn your attention to the screens for a short video on the year that was 2025.
Night or day, 7 days a week, YVR keeps our passengers, our region, and our economy moving. A global hub and Canada's Pacific gateway to Asia and beyond. A role the airport has proudly played for nearly 95 years. But in 2025, we did more than just move people and products. We strengthened the foundation beneath every takeoff and every landing through key projects like the modernization of our North Runway. We electrified ground fleets and supported our airline partners in adopting sustainable aviation fuel. Key steps on our roadmap to net zero by 2030. We improved passenger flow with investments in innovative new technologies, many first-of-their-kind equipment in Canada, and worked together in smarter, more efficient, and more coordinated ways than ever before. We expanded our global reach by welcoming more airlines and adding more destinations. We moved more high-value Canadian goods to export markets around the world than ever before, from fresh foods to high-value technologies to critical minerals, supporting Canadian companies that are seeking new markets and new opportunities for our products. And we served more passengers than at any point in our history, quickly adapting to shifting travel patterns amidst global uncertainty. We strengthened connections to the communities we serve, not just with resources, but with our own two hands. With our partners, we created more moments for passengers to enjoy their journey and to learn more about Musqueam, on whose ancestral unceded territory YVR operates. YVR isn't just a gateway, it's an employer, an economic engine, an environmental steward, and a connector of families, cultures, and opportunity. When we strengthen YVR, we strengthen the region. Coming off a year of new records, new routes, new achievements, and incredible new heights, YVR is ready now to seize the momentum and the opportunity to help our region and our economy take off into the future.
Great video, eh? I can watch that again and again. I would like to add my welcome to today's meeting. Ami Sep Kokwilam. Bienvenue à tous. C'est un plaisir d'être ici avec vous. It is my pleasure to be here with you. I want to especially thank Mary for that Musqueam welcome. It was so meaningful, so important, special to me today, and inspiring as always. Heichka. It's a privilege to host today's meeting on the lands that Musqueam have stewarded since time immemorial. I would like to pay my personal respects to elders past and present. I know this year has been one of great loss. As for our Friendship and Sustainability Agreement, as it comes into almost 10 years, we can proudly reflect on how we deeply have benefited from the wisdom shared by Musqueam as we walk together on this path of reconciliation. C'est avec un sentiment doux amer que j'annonce aujourd'hui ma propre retraite. C'est la dernière fois que je suis ici avec vous à présenter les résultats et pour remercier l'équipe et mes collègues du conseil d'administration. Ce fut un grand honneur dans ma vie de siéger au conseil d'administration en tant que président. J'ai tellement apprécié votre travail ensemble. Et voir Tamara et l'équipe performer aussi bien ces 10 dernières années a été un véritable plaisir. Merci Tamara, merci mes collègues, merci équipe YVR. Okay, I get to do that in English now. It's a bit bittersweet that I will be announcing my own retirement today. It is the last time I will be with you to report the results and to thank the team and my colleagues for their contributions. It has been one of the great honors of my life to serve as the chair of YVR. And I've really enjoyed working with my colleagues, the team, the executive. It's been fantastic doing this work together. To witness Tamara and the team perform over the last 10 years has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to my colleagues. Thank you to my team. Thanks, Tamara. Thanks to the YVR team. So I'm especially delighted today to present our 2025 results, both here in person and online. It was an award-winning year, really culminating a huge combination of things that we have been working on over the past several years, whether it's diversification of revenue, whether it's the fortification of our resilience, whether it's our climate goals. We've done all of those things, and they've all resulted now in a record year. Our investments in infrastructure, technology, climate resilience, and people continue to strengthen YVR's capacity to serve British Columbia, Canada, while preparing for tomorrow. Our 2025 Annual Sustainability Report, entitled Building Resilience, Building Momentum, was posted on yvr.ca on April 20th. The report provides a broad overview of the authority's activities and is intended to provide a clear view of what matters to us most. 2025 was marked by several exceptional achievements, what can be seen on page 10, if you want to look them all up, of our report. But as I always do, you have to indulge me because I want to mention a couple. Firstly, our CEO, Tamara Vrooman, was recognized as the Canadian Business Leader of the Year by the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. And also, a special one to me, our culture was once again distinguished with a Most Admired Culture Award from Waterstone Human Capital. A great culture is so essential to what we do here. It's so essential to our work, and it's so essential with how we can help BC thrive. We continue to demonstrate leadership as we drive towards achieving net zero by 2030, to make investments to protect Sea Island from climate-related impacts. We recognize that environmental responsibility and operational resilience are inseparable. The BC Aviation Council presented YVR and BC Airports with their environmental award for the BC Airport System Net Zero by 2030 initiative. And YVR remains the only Canadian airport to have achieved level 4+ carbon accreditation from ACI North America. I also want, yeah, that's a good one too. But this one coming up is even better. Our focus on performance and customer experience was recognized, and we were voted Best Airport in North America in the Skytrax World Award for the 15th time. And we also cracked the top 10 this year. We were named the 10th best airport in the world. Tomorrow's going to talk a little bit more about that, but I wanted to say it too. None of these achievements would be possible without the professionalism and dedication of our YVR employees and volunteers. In a 24-hour safety-critical environment, their commitment and team approach ensures the airport operates reliably every day. And running an airport is a multi-team sport. Nearly 28,000 employees, from airlines to government agencies to cargo operators and the numerous other businesses that make up our complex airport ecosystem, also contribute to YVR's success. And so I want to thank our entire Airport Authority team, our many business partners, for their ongoing collaboration and contribution to One YVR. I'd also like to thank my fellow directors, our community-nominated board, for your dedication, wisdom, and expertise. But I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank you, the community, and our customers for your feedback and support that make our airport better. finally, I'd like to announce some changes to our board. Dan Nomura, our board member nominated by the City of Richmond, will retire from the board at the end of today. Dan, where are you? Thank you, Dan. We appreciate Dan's contribution that he made during his tenure on the board, and we'll miss you, Dan. Thank you. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, I also announced my own retirement today. It's been a great honor to an organization to serve as on an organization that connects a community to the whole world. It's just an amazing, amazing feeling. I leave knowing that YVR's leadership will continue to steward our continued success with integrity, resilience, innovation, and foresight. And on that note, I'm delighted to announce that I'll be passing the role of chair to Peter Blake, shown here, shown there in person. Peter is an incumbent on the board, coming in with great knowledge of YVR. His deep chair and leadership experience augment his broad business expertise. And I have every confidence that he will guide the board with care, integrity, and a clear focus on fulfilling the organization's purpose of serving our community and the economy that supports it. Peter, I wish you and our fellow directors all the best as you continue the important work that YVR has underway. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Haitchka. C'est maintenant mon plaisir, it's now my pleasure to introduce Tamara Vrooman, President and CEO.
Thanks so much, Annalisa. Ooh, we got to get rid of that slide. There we go. So it is my pleasure to be presenting our results to you, and these results are really a culmination of so many people's efforts. But I would be remiss not to take particular note of our outgoing board chair, Annalisa King. Thank you. I'm going to say a little bit more about you later on, but thank you so much for your service and your leadership of our airport. Also, thanks to our colleagues who welcomed us in such a good way and got everybody to sing the welcome song. Mary Heichka, thank you always for getting us started in such a good way. And to our interpreters, both in French language and in sign language, thank you as always for joining us and making this in-person and broadcast annual public meeting accessible and inclusive. It's a super important part of delivering our message and making sure that we get the feedback and the connectivity to the full range of people who we support. It's also an opportunity to reflect on our 2025 performance. And as you'll hear, 2025 was a very, very good year for us. But you know, nothing happens at YVR without our people. And our people were featured in the first annual Airport Workers' Day, several winning the national awards for being the best, not only at what they do at our airport, but the best in what they do right across the country. And as Annalisa said, 28,000 people come to work here each and every day to support, depending on the season, somewhere between 80 and 95,000 passengers that come to our airport each day. Think about it. We stand up a operation, over 100,000 people. That's the size of a medium-sized city in our country. And we do it each and every day with safety, with efficiency, with professionalism, and a community welcoming ethos in everything we do. So that is why you'll hear us say this again and again. I know 15 sounds like it starts to get boring after a while, but we don't think this is boring. And so for the work that 28,000 people do, we have been recognized for a record 15 times as Skytrack's best airport in North America. The Skytrack survey is a really important survey. So we're very privileged. We do get lots of accolades and awards for the diverse and excellent work that our teams do. But this one is particularly important. It's the largest consumer-based survey of its kind in any industry in the world. Over 13 million travelers participate in evaluating airports right around the world. So to be named the best airport in North America for the 15th time, but more impressively this year to be included in the global top 10 is really a testament to all of the people who work here at YVR. Please join me in thanking them for this tremendous achievement. And so now on to the numbers. We've had a very strong year in terms of the lines of business and the key metrics that matter to running an airport. So you can see here we welcomed 26.9 million passengers in 2025. That was a record. And by record, I mean record in the last 100 years record. And so we're very, very pleased with that growth, and we're on track to maintain and exceed that in 26. We also saw a record number of tons of cargo move through our airport, 365,000, building on a record year that was 2024. You know, a lot of the things that we do here at YVR go unnoticed by the public, but one of the most important things we do here is act as a very important export channel for the very, very high value goods that are produced by businesses in our region and throughout Western Canada. Most of you know that what travels on an aircraft can be things like high value seafood, agricultural, perishables, but did you also know that gold travels by air, critical minerals, and high-value manufactured machine products, electronics, plastics that are needed in high-value manufacturing that really supports high-paying jobs, high-value investment in our region. And let's not forget the critical role we play in healthcare. The most precious parts of the health supply chain, ranging from things like isotopes all the way through to vaccines and PPEs and critical medicines and everything in between, travel by air because it's the safest, it is the fastest, and it is the most secure. Living in a port city, we all know that the Port of Vancouver provides such an important part of a gateway of exports for the western part of our country, and in fact across the country, to other markets around the world. But did you know that air cargo is actually the most highly valued cargo? So when we take a ton of cargo from the marine port and we compare it against a ton of cargo from an airport, the cargo that moves through YVR is at least 25 times more valuable than a ton that moves through the marine port. Of course, the marine port moves more, given the kinds of thing they move, but we're a very, very important part of the cargo supply chain. And so we're very focused on that number. You'll hear us talk a lot more about it in 2026 and 2027 as we do our part to ensure that BC and Western Canadian businesses have access to the export routes that they need to get their goods to market to support the investment and growth and independence of our region. Speaking of route growth, we had a fantastic year in 2025. As you can see, 13 new routes that were right across our network. So everything from Air Canada's returned service, we lost that service through the pandemic, returned service to Beijing, to new carriers in T-Way Air, a low-cost carrier providing direct service from YVR to Seoul, providing yet another alternative for flights to Korea. You can also see other important destinations, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Manila in Southeast Asia, as well as a number of eastern connection points on the eastern part of the continent, added to Mexico City, Huatulco, and Liberia in Costa Rica. In all, 129 nonstop destinations at YVR, 57 airlines providing those routes. But we're not stopping there. As we look to 2026, we can see markets that continue to need service and both travelers and businesses that need direct service connectivity. A good example of that is actually Vietnam. So in 2025, 58,000 people traveled from YVR to Ho Chi Minh City, but they had to travel through Singapore, 58,000 is enough to support a service, direct service, and so we're working with the Government of Canada to open a bilateral treaty to allow for the first time direct service between our two countries. That's really important not only for diaspora and tourism, but it's also vital, we hear from the business community, as more and more of our businesses are doing business with Vietnam and more Vietnamese investment is coming into our region. Similarly, if you take a look at the map, you can see that South America is not well covered by direct service to YVR, and so we continue to look for opportunities to expand service into that market. Lima, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, those are all cities that we have on the radar for potential service from YVR. That's also not only important in terms of travel and diaspora, but when you think about global mining companies starting to relocate and be headquartered in our region, having direct service connectivity also supports business and job growth in our region. So we're very, very excited about the fact that we've got such great numbers. 13 new routes in 1 year is no small achievement, and thanks to our Air Service Development team for all the work they do there. But we've got even greater ambitions going into 2026 as we continue to see the demand for our services grow both locally and internationally. And of course, all of that sits on the platform of reliability and high-quality operational performance. We don't earn the right to talk about new service unless the service that we're providing is efficient, safe, reliable each and every time. And so we pay particular attention as an airport to what we call our operational metrics. Those include the things that I'm about to talk about here. And they're super important. Take, for example, customer satisfaction. 93% customer satisfaction, up 2 points. Notwithstanding some of the challenges that we had in changing geopolitical tensions and our folks continued to serve the diversity of a record number of passengers to the absolute highest value and highest level as verified by our customers themselves. This has been achieved not only because of the fantastic staff we have, but because of innovations that we've made and been first of their kind often in our country. Take, for example, biometric boarding. We were the first airport in Canada to introduce biometric e-gates in the domestic terminal in partnership with Air Canada. We then were able to extend that into our transborder, our U.S. terminal, for departures on U.S. flights. We now have airports across the country wanting to work with us to find ways to extend that because they can see the benefits that it provides not only in customer experience, but also safety and security. And so did you know that the number one place that people lose a passport is in an airport? So being able to keep your ID where it belongs, safely and securely in your wallet or in your pack is really important as you use your face to transit seamlessly through our airport. On-time performance is also vitally important to our airline customers and, of course, their customers, passengers, to make sure they can make those vital connections to the plethora of routes that we serve through YVR. Our on-time performance has been so strong in 2025 that our biggest customer, Air Canada, when they introduced a new award called the GO Award, which they give out once a quarter for the station, they would say, or airport, we would say, in their entire global network that has the best on-time operational performance. They started this award last year, and so they've only offered it 4 times for 4 quarters. Guess who won 4 out of 4? YVR, the best operating airport in all of Air Canada's network. We were joking, we're going to have to start calling it the YVR Award, not the GO Award, because of the great work our team did. And of course, we have such fantastic local brands, local food, local experiences. We've really been working to diversify and bring more of the best of Vancouver and Richmond and the region into our airport. And so we've had a variety of new stores, retail operations, and new restaurants showcasing the best of our region. And for that, our passengers give us 93% thumbs up. But it's also the infrastructure and the way that we serve the other parts of our business. When a passenger is moving through, they've left their bag, how do they have confidence that it gets to where it needs to go? So our baggage team has been focusing relentlessly on the part of the baggage journey that we at YVR control, which is the time from where you drop it off to the time it's loaded on the aircraft. And I can say there, thanks to the innovation and the resilience that we've built there, our team last year achieved a 99% accuracy. Think about that. Hundreds of thousands of pieces of luggage, every single one of them save a very, very few getting to where they were supposed to go when they were supposed to get there. I don't think there's any other airport in North America that has a 99% bag delivery target like that. So congratulations to the team. In addition, we were the first airport in the country to really see the opportunity and take advantage of introducing CT scanners at our CATSA pre-board screening checkpoints. And so we invested $30 million to do the electrical and the infrastructural work that allowed us to be the first airport in the country to deploy CT scanners, first at Pier C checkpoint, and then AB International, and now Transborder. That has meant that the average wait time is below 15 minutes, even at our busiest time. And it's also improved the security because, of course, these machines are far better at detection. So it's easier. Passengers don't need to take the stuff out of their bags on their way through. And it's more secure, a classic win-win. And all the while, we keep focusing on the long term and the obligations that we have, not only to the safe and efficient operation of our airport, but also to the community in which we operate. And so that's why our roadmap to net zero, becoming net zero by 2030, the first and only airport in North America to do that, is so important and key to what we do. And you know, as I say to the team, recently, commitments to reduce greenhouse gases and talking about climate has not been as popular in organizations as it was in the past. But it's easy to be a leader when everybody thinks it's a good idea. The time when you really earn your leadership stripes is when people don't. And I can see here that we continue to focus on our roadmap to net zero by 2030, on track with 2,100 tons reduced in 2025. And we continue to ensure that we're using renewable fuels, we're electrifying ground fleets for ourselves and our partners. We continue to use opportunities to improve the efficiency of the infrastructure that we use to run the airport. All of that means we're less reliant on fossil fuels, which, given the price of fuel today, looks like a pretty sound business decision, as well as a good operating and climate decision, while providing the resilience and the redundancy that's needed to operate a safe and effective airport. And then, of course, our financial performance is the engine that gives us opportunity to keep doing what we do year after year. So our financial performance was also very good in 2025. $717 million, as you can see here, in total revenue. That's just shy of our record, which we hit last year, of $724 million. $259 in EBITDA, very important, because we are a private, non-profit corporation, and so that means that we must earn a profit, but we must reinvest that profit for the betterment of the airport, EBITDA, therefore, being a very important measure. And then all of that is premised on a strong balance sheet, which gives us the opportunity to borrow when we need to continue to make investments in world-leading infrastructure and technology upon which our community and region rely. And in 2025, we had a AA- credit rating, very strong, strongest of any airport in the country. But early this year, in 2026, that was actually upgraded to AA, the highest that we have ever had here at YVR, and among the top elite tier worldwide. Probably only 10 or 12 airports in the world enjoy that level of credit rating. That means, That means we can access credit markets at a lower cost and efficiency, ensuring that we have access to the investments we need to continue to make our airport innovative, future-focused, and efficient. We also take a look at, because we are a capital-intensive organization, we also take a look at what return we get on the capital that we deploy, making sure we're ever focused on the efficiency of our capital deployment, not only in what it does for us in our operations and our customer service and our growth plans, but also is financially sustainable. And so that's why you see return on capital investment so important here, 2.51% ahead of target on that measure as well. And all of that was done while we were making significant investments in the infrastructure that is needed to ensure that our airport operates reliably day in, day out, no matter what. And as we are located on a floodplain here in a river delta, and we've seen increased weather events, we are needing to continue to build up our dikes and our drainage and our pumping infrastructure, ensuring we're staying ahead of the water, as it were, to ensure the safe and continuous operations while paying attention to our obligations on the local habitat. And then the North Runway program, which you saw in the video at the opening, is also something that was a pretty major achievement for us in 2025. We had to resurface the runway. It was kind of getting to the end of its useful life after being 30 years old. But we wanted to do it in a way that didn't disrupt our operations. So each and every night from April to October, 200 people went out onto our North Runway, dug up about 150 meters of pavement, replaced all of the lighting, the runway lighting, resurfaced it with new asphalt, plus or minus 5 millimeters, think about the precision of that, laid new paint, let it dry, inspected it, and opened it on time for full service the very next morning. We are the only airport in the country to be able to do that kind of resurfacing without any disruption to our operations, something that our passengers and our airline clients are very, very appreciative of. And we do all of that while paying attention to the community in which we operate. And so we not only give back in terms of $1.5 million in grants and in-kind support to 27 partners, some of which you see in the terminal, some of which are out in community. We also volunteer our expertise and our time. And this is one of my favorite stats of anything that we report on at this meeting. 4,500 hours volunteered and contributed by YVR's staff to community endeavors, lending their expertise and their time to where it counts the most. Please join me in thanking our folks for volunteering. As our airport grows, our team grows, and mostly that's a super happy event. We celebrate births, we celebrate marriages, we celebrate awards, we celebrate degrees, we celebrate firsts, trips, milestones. Each and every day, I tell you, there's donuts somewhere in our office. But also, unfortunately, sometimes we also have to recognize the passing of colleagues. And this past year was particularly significant. In 3 of our active employees passed away. Raymond, Terry, and Alex each were key contributors to our airport and the work we do. Raymond, tireless as an electrician and focusing on keeping all of the complex systems working each and every day throughout our airport. Terry, the key guy in making sure that our assets were where they needed to be and reliably working so that we could count on them. And Alex, a key contributor to the innovation and the IT work that has really kept our airport at the forefront. In the case of Terry and Alex, their spouses are also part of our team here at YVR. And Raymond's family, been a 22-year employee, also very close. I just wanted to take this opportunity to really recognize the service that they provided to our airport, the contributions that they've made, and extend my support to their families. So while 2025 was really a fantastic year, 2026 continues the trend. And notwithstanding the fact that we continue to navigate tariff and geopolitical changes, that we continue to see a slower volume of passengers, of Canadians, flying about 7% down, flying to the US from Canada. We continue to see robust numbers of Americans flying to our country. And so we're adjusting our operations and our strategy almost week by week in order to navigate those, but that's all on a strong foundation of operational resilience with a focus on the future in terms of innovation, in terms of trade, and in terms of sustainability. And so some of the things that you'll hear us talk about in 2026 really focus on those things. How do we continue to lead and innovate, make digital, data, smart investments in our operations that continue to allow us to grow efficiently and effectively? How do we make sure that we're looking at the platform of our operations, whether it's our access to electricity, whether it's sustainable aviation fuel, or whether it's alternative diesel fuel? How do we make sure that we've got the resilience and the redundancy in our systems, as well as being on the leading edge of the lower cost alternative in order to serve our customers and our airport effectively? And then finally, cargo. As you heard, cargo is a really important part of our business, and as we grow our network from Asia Pacific into North America and increasingly from Asia Pacific, cargo is connecting through YVR as a bridge to Europe. We have many opportunities to continue to grow our role as trade, to make sure that we're doing our part to support businesses in the trade channels that they need in order to diversify and thrive. And finally, 37 days. 37 days between today and the first game locally of the FIFA World Cup. And as I hope you can see as you came into our terminal, we are more than ready. We haven't been planning for days and weeks, we've been planning for months and months, making the key investments that we need to make sure that our operation is fit and ready. Over 200 volunteers from our staff have said, hey, we want to work extra volunteer time to make sure that we've got the eyes, the ears, the arms, the legs to support the diversity of needs and people that will be transiting through our airport. And the spirit and excitement that comes with an event like this, knowing that we represent the entire region, and in some cases country, as the first place international visitors see when they come to our country to celebrate FIFA, and the last place they see when they go. We take that super seriously, and I hope you agree that we are ready. So thank you to the team for that. Finally, we've had some changes in our team. At the executive level, we welcome in 2025 Clayton Buckingham, our VP of Finance and Chief Financial Officer. And Alana Loris, our Vice President, Communications, Environmental, and Indigenous Relations, who you saw here up at the podium. It's fantastic to have you both on our team. Welcome. And as Annalisa mentioned, it's also a time of change at our board level. As CEO, board chair is sort of important. It is probably the one boss that I have in the organization. So their selection and their willingness to serve and their background is important to our airport, but it's also important to me personally. And I'm delighted that Peter Blake, someone with his business experience, with his leadership reputation and background as a CEO and a board chair, and with his relentless personal commitment to community, has decided to take on the role of chair. I think this is an exciting time for YVR, and we'll be well served with you in the chair. Thank you so much, Peter. And of course, with every welcoming, there's also a goodbye. And as you heard, Annalisa announced her retirement from our board of directors, and thus her retirement as our board chair. Annalisa's service to YVR has really been second to none. She took on the role at a time when it seemed like growth was only going in one direction. And then the pandemic came, and that wasn't quite so. And so not only did she ably and stably serve and guide and support the work that we needed to do through unprecedented times, she did it in a way that welcomed diverse opinions from her board colleagues, that was focused always on what the best thing for the airport and the community was, on bringing a strategic vision and a strategic experience from all of her many executive leadership roles. And my favorite part is, right at the time when it was most tense and we had to make some key decisions, Annalisa's laugh could be heard throughout the terminal as something that put it in perspective and made everything human, and we all knew it was going to be okay. So please join me in thanking our exceptional board chair, Annalisa King, for her years of service to YVR. So with that, that concludes my remarks on time. I'm looking forward to taking your questions. This is really a really important part of what we do. But just before we do that, we wanted to take a moment to have a special point of recognition.
So I would like to welcome Mary Point to the stage for a special presentation. Joining Mary Point is Diane and Zoe. Are you coming too? And Annalisa, we'd like you to stand up and come join us in the middle of the stage, and Mary's going to walk us through a special presentation.
Annalisa, kutanasiea, kutanaskaak, haitsepka, ai tanashwalawan kwanzi kwatsnala. Needs he hachlamet tanashumatguim ath tamith ichumatguim ath ka. In the language of my ancestors, I said thank you to our dear and respected friend, another one of my younger sisters. And just to say together, we've been taking care of this Musqueam land, these Musqueam waters, these Musqueam Masteo, our people, two families coming together as friends to do the right thing. And we have grown so much just from knowing one another. Today, we're going to wrap you in our Musqueam YVR blanket. This designed by Summer Cannell when she was 13, she's 20 now, with her father, Tom. And it represents how we feel: respect, passengers, two communities, travel. It's everything that we want you to remember. In our way back since the first sunrise, a blanket would be our way of saying thank you to someone. And the blankets, before we had access to commercial processes, would be made from mountain goat wool and some of our own hair and maybe a little bit of cedar to help bind it together. Each strand prayed over and made with love. And what we want you to know is everyone here has a lot of love and respect for you. And all of those good feelings are going into this blanket, and we're going to wrap you in it and let you know that we are filled with gratitude, love, respect. We hold you in the highest regard. And whenever you miss us, feel free to wrap yourself in that, because all the good feelings of everyone here will be staying with that blanket and with you. Hi, Tsepka, we can't raise our hands high enough. Haichka, haichka, haichka. Yeah.